Today we will learn what is Python interpreter and how Python runs program. I have been talking about Python as a programming language, but as a currently implemented, it is also a software package that is called an interpreter. An interpreter is a kind of program that executes other programs. When you write a Python program, the Python interpreter reads your program and carries out the instructions it contains. In effect, the interpreter is a layer of software logic between your code and the computer hardware on your machine. When the Python package is installed on your machine, it generates a number of components, minimally an interpreter and a support library, depending on how you use. Now we will talk about bytecode compilation. Internally and almost completely hidden from you. When when you execute a program, Python first compiles your source code, that the statements in your file, into a format that is known as bytecode. That means when you run when you run your source code, the Python first compiles your code into a format that is called as bytecode. Compilation is simply a translation step, and bytecode is a lower level platform, independent representation of your source code. Roughly, Python translates each of your source statements into a group of bytecode instructions by decomposing them into individual steps. This bytecode translation is performed to speed execution. Bytecode can be run much more quickly than the original source code statements in your text file. If the Python process has written access on your machine, it will store the bytecode of your programs in files that ends with a .pyc extension. .pyc means compiled file and the .py means your source file. Now we can learn about what is the Python virtual machine. The once your program has been compiled to bytecode, or the bytecode has has been loaded from existing .pyc files, it is shipped off for execution to something generally known as Python virtual machine. Python virtual machine is the runtime interpreter. Yes, the PVM sounds more impressive than it is really. It's not a separate program, and it need not be installed by itself. In fact, the PVM is just a big code loop that iterates through your bytecode instructions one by one to carry out their operations. The PVM is the runtime engine of Python. It's always present as a part of the Python system, and it is the component that truly runs your scripts. Technically, it's just a last step of what is called as the Python interpreter.